Hello everybody, my name is Adrian Burzu. I'm here to show you how easy it is to start your journey in OCI. So this is my video from 2024. In here, what I'm going to show you, if you're new to OCI, it is the first time you want to use Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, what you need to do is to go to cloud.oracle.com. You'll be redirected to this page. And in here, you can see that you have a button that is called Sign Up. And when you're going to click sign up on the button, you'll be redirected to a different page where you can enter your credentials, your names, email address, your name, and the region. You'll need to enter your cloud, let's say, tenancy name in here, and also you will need to have a credit card that will be used later for billing. In the beginning, you're gonna receive $300 credits, for 30 days, and after that, you're gonna have a lot of services that are free of charge, so you can use it for testing other services. Now, in my case, I already have this account that was created for the demo purposes, and in here, after I'm writing the tenancy name, I'm redirecting to the identity provider, which is Identity Cloud Service. It's part of an identity domain, default one. I'll press next, and I will be redirected to this page where I can start entering my credentials. So what I'm going to try to do with this series is to do it like you're doing in a day-by-day job. Okay, so from time to time, I'm going to see a lot of errors, because I miss something or I'm not thinking to check something, and I want to do it as close to reality as possible. Okay, so what you see here, they're asking, the page is asking me to do a second verification. The first one was the password, and now the second one is the multi-factor authenticator. That is in there. In my case, I will use a FIDO authenticator method, and I'm going to use Windows Hello, that I have on my PC. Okay, after I enter my PIN, I'm redirected to the login page. What you can see in here, you can see the tenancy name. In here on the right, you have the profile. So if you're going to click on profile, you're going to see what is the default domain that you're using, what is the name of the user, the tenancy name, and so on. So this is a private tenancy, but I use my work email to create this account. Now, if you want to go in here, you have multiple options. Starting from the beginning, you have some quick starts that you can click into them and you start different deployments and so on. Or you can use, let's say, these launch resources to create an instance very fast and so on. But what I'm going to do, let's say, my usual approach on all accounts. I go to Identity and Security, and I go on the compartments menu. In the compartments menu, if you don't have a compartment created, by default, you're going to have only the root compartment. You can click create a compartment. You give it a name. And after that, you click create compartment. In here, I already have a demo compartment that also have some resources in the backend somewhere. But I will leave this compartment to be used in here. And after the compartment is created, I'll go to the identity domain. I will select the default one. I'll click on the users and I'll create a new user that will be used for this type of demos, and later another user that will have other rights and so on. So in here, I will give the name demo user. If you want to use the email address, you can go and you can put it to have the same name as the username. But in my case, I want to reuse it for other things. So I will create the username as demo and I'll use my email. For this. Let me check if this is the right one. Okay. Correct. So I have this. I will not add it to any groups at this point. Okay, because I want to create also a new group. I'll click, I'll go back to the identity, to the groups. I'll create a new group. I will name this group demo again. And now I have the option here to add the user that I previously created. Okay, so now I have a user that is in a group. Why I'm doing this? In OCI, everything is created with deny all. So, and also when you want to allow something to be done, you need to have a group that is allowed to do that, not a user itself. So that's why I have created a group and a user that was added to that group. Now, with all of this in place, next step that you need to do is to go to policies. Yeah, I go to identity, I click on policies, and now I want to create a new policies. And I'm going to put it demo policy in here. And because I want to use something, I will be allowed with this user to do everything in that compartment, I'll do something like this. Allow group demo to manage. Yeah, manage means that it's allowed to do everything in that compartment. All resources in compartment demo. Okay, so I'll create this type of policy. Now, if it's something new for you, you don't understand what I'm trying to do in here, if you're gonna open a new page, yeah, from there you're gonna click it, you'll be redirected to the Oracle documentation, yeah, for the cloud documentation. And in here you have a lot of explanations related to all of this. Okay, so you can use compartment OCI ID instead of compartment name. Yeah, so when you use compartment, when you create the policy, you need to put the name. When you're gonna use the compartment ID, yeah, you need to put this in compartment ID, and you're gonna put the OCI ID of the compartment. Okay, and after this is done, all you need to do is to press create. Yeah, write something in here at the description, and you're gonna press create. Okay, so now we have a policy for this group that will allow me to do everything in that compartment. Now, what I'm gonna do, I will sign out from this user. I will go to my email address. I will activate my other user. Okay, so let me activate it. I received an email with my activation link. And with this in place, okay, if I go in here, Oracle Cloud, yeah, I'm back on the login page. When I press next, I will use the demo user. I will enter the password. And as you can see in here, I will be asked to enter my security verification. Yeah, this is my the proof that I'm the person that has this account. Yeah, not only a password. If the password is leaked, I will also need to enter an additional, let's say, password code or maybe use a security token. Yeah, to prove that it's me. So in here, what I can do, I can use a mobile application, yeah, to do it. This is much simpler. Yeah, if you want to do it, you open a mobile application that you have in there. So on my account, I'll open mobile application from Oracle because I also want to use push from time to time. It's much simpler. Even, yeah, it might, yeah. So in here, I have the application added in there. I scan the QR code. So my phone is enrolled. And tada, I'm in this environment right now. So what I need to do now, yeah, if I'm going to click on this, I'm going to see that my user is the default user. I'm in here, I have this tenancy. And if I go, let's say, to do a network in here, you'll see that from the beginning it says that I'm not authorized yet to use this resource. Why it's happening this? I'm in a different compartment. Yeah, I'm not in the compartment where I have the rights to do this. As I said before, yeah, I have also additional resources that were created before, so I will delete them. As you can see, sometimes I can do it directly. If not, if there's resources reused, yeah, then I will need to check which resources they are using and so on. Yeah, so there's some conflict in here with the subnet. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start creating a new VCN. I prefer to use a VCN wizard when I'm doing this because from the beginning, all the resources that are underneath are created for me. Okay, so I'll click Start VCN Wizard. I will give, let's say, a name demo VCN, let's say 1. Yeah, I'm gonna do this VCN. In here, yeah, you need to configure what is the VCN CIDR block. By default, a VCN CIDR block can have 16, yeah, over 65,000 IPs, and you can add additional 5 more, so you can go up to 300,000 IPs in OCI. Now, I will start with the default one. I don't want to change anything in here. I'll leave 10.0.0/16. In here, it is really important to see that you have this one checked, because we prefer to use DNS calls, yeah, for a lot of services. So databases, if you don't have this in your VCN enabled, you'll not be able to create Oracle databases, PaaS services. Next, you need to configure the public subnet and the private subnet. Okay, so when we're gonna do this, you're gonna see in there that you have these CIDR blocks for the subnets. So you can start with one, yeah, or you can add additional ones, yeah. So you have a /24 for the public one and a /1 for the private subnets. To be sincere, I prefer to use most of my instances in private subnets because of security. After this, you have it, you press next, and now you need to press create. So in here, we need to wait around 10-15 seconds, yeah, for the private subnet to be created also in there. And after this is created, what I'm gonna do in here, yeah, I will create, I can create another subnet, yeah, just to do this, okay, to have another subnet for later use. So you've seen it, how easy it is to do it. When you create another subnet in here, yeah, you click create subnet, you give it a name, and let's say maybe DB. Yeah, I want to create a subnet that is dedicated for databases. Because I have 10.0.1 and 0.0, yeah, we already use, I'm going to go with 2.0/24. So I'm going to give 256 IP addresses for the database part. And I want to go with route table. I can create another route table, but in my case, yeah, for demo purposes, I'll go with an existing one. I will make this subnet access. Yeah, you can see, select subnet access as private or public. As I said, database important DNS hostname to have it in there. I will leave the DNS label as DB. The ACP options, yeah, I can go with the default ones. And security list, yeah, I want to go with the security list that is in here, when I can create another security list just for that. Important, logging, yeah. It's really important to know what's happening in your tenancy. So that's why I prefer always to have subnets with my log enabled. I want to see the VCM flow logs. I want to see who's trying to connect to my databases. I want to see what are the ports that they're using, and so on. So it is really, really important, yeah, to know all of this. So I will not enable it, but from here, I'll have another video on how to enable the logs, yeah, for the subnets in your tenancy. So I'll also create, yeah, a third database that I have in here, database subnet. Okay, now I am in the subnet in here. So because I'm in the subnet, let me close this, because you want to see what's happening, not my face. Okay. Okay, I moved it on the right. So in here on the left, if you go on the VCN Virtual Cloud Network, any of it, if you select it, you're gonna see that in the left you have some resources. First resource is the subnet. Yeah, you're gonna see what are the subnet, and if you look at the subnet access, you're gonna see if they're private, public, or private, yeah, or again, regional subnets. Yeah, if you are in a region where you have multiple activity ADs, yeah, that means activity domains, or yeah. Okay, so if you're gonna see different ADs, if you're gonna have different availability domains, yeah, you can select them, and when you create a subnet, you can select from here availability domain specific, and you select your availability domain. But if you create it original, yeah, that means that the cyber block, it goes over all of them. Next part, as you remember at the beginning, I told you that you can go and by default use a /16. But later, after the VCN is created, you can add additional ones. Yeah, so you can use 10.0.16, but you can go with 10.1.0.0/16, and you can also add it to this one. Now, route tables. Yeah, so with route tables, we tell our resources how to get from one resource to another. Okay, by default, yeah, it is the default route table. This is for public subnet. So that means that if you want to go anywhere, yeah, you will go through an internet gateway. This is used for access to the internet and from the internet. Now, if you are in a private subnet, then in a private subnet, if you want to go from the internet to the private resource, it is impossible. So what you can do with this, you can go outside yeah, from the machine, maybe for updates, yeah, you can go using a network, a NAT gateway. Okay, so this is the way that you can do it. Another way that you need to define in these private subnet route tables is the service gateway. Okay, service gateway helps you to go to resources in Oracle Cloud using Oracle private backbone. Okay, so nothing will go over the internet, will go through this service gateway. So if you use private subnets, everything will be private. Yeah, no, will not go over the internet. In here, if you create manually and you don't have an internet gateway, you can go and you can create one manually. Dynamic routing gateways, we're going to talk about it later. These are used for, let's say, networking. Yeah, this is the routing gateway used by Oracle to create site-to-site VPNs, fast connects, and so on. Network security group. This is something that I recommend to everyone to use it. Yeah, this is like an additional firewall that is attached directly to your machine. So if you take Windows machine or Linux machine, you have the firewall that is on the machine, yeah, the first level of protection. After that, you have the network security group that will allow access to the machine on different ports and from different IPs. And third, you can use in parallel with a security list. Okay, so a security list is another layer of protection that you have in there. So by default, you have security list. Network security groups are not enabled. You need to create them manually. But the security lists that are in here will allow you access only on port 22. Okay, so we presume that you create a Linux machine and you want to connect to that Linux machine from everywhere. And the additional security that you can put it in here, yeah, what we recommend for here, do not use 000, use your own IP if you're going to do something like this, if you're going to expose it to the internet directly. Okay. Good. DHCP option, yeah, tells you how you can, let's say, add additional DHCP values to your machines. You're gonna send the IP addresses, and also they're gonna have the DNS entry in there. They're gonna use the default DNS server that is put it, but you can also go and you can edit it, and you can, let's say, specify your own search domain. You can create a special resolver. Maybe you can extend it to on-premise DNS servers and so on. Yeah, so there are a lot of options that you can do in there. Local peering gateway, yeah, this is something if you are in the same region, in the same, let's say, and you have two different VCNs and you want to connect them, what you can do, you can create a local peering gateway. To be sincere, since we have the DRG and the capability to use one DRG on multiple VCNs, I'm not stopped using this one. Okay, so I prefer to use the other one. NAT gateway, as I told you before, NAT gateway, it is used to go and connect from instances that are in a private subnet directly to the internet, yeah, in a secure way. Service gateway, if you want to access services that are in OCI and don't go over the internet, yeah, you can use Oracle private backbone again. So this is the service gateway. VLANs, this one is used by VMware. Yeah, so in VMware solution, Oracle gives you access to layer 2. So yeah, very powerful two options in there. Okay, so we've seen this, we created a VCN, so we are very far away at this point. Yeah, we are at the beginning. And next step that I like to do in here, so after I have the network, let's go with the basics. Let's create an instance in OCI. Okay, so in OCI, if you want to create an instance, yeah, you see I'm in the demo compartment. I'm allowed to do everything in here. So let me create demo VM1, let's say. Yeah, so I created the demo VM1 machine in here. In here, you have the option to select in which availability domain to put it, because I'm in Frankfurt and in here I have 3 availability domains. I can go down, yeah, I can show advanced options and I can see capacity type. Yeah, if I want on demand capacity, it is the default. I created the machine, it's mine. I can stop it, start it anytime I want. Now, if I want, yeah, maybe something much cheaper, and I don't care if the machine starts, stops, and something like that, it's not production. It's just for testing, for demo purposes, and so on. I can use this preemptible capacity, and I'll leave it in here at this point. Yeah, and the instance can be reclaimed anytime by Oracle. Yeah, if they need this capacity to be reused. I can use also capacity reservation. Yeah, capacity reservation means that I know that I will need maybe additional servers, yeah, in a certain period of time. I have 1 month when I have usage over 300% more than I usually have it. So what I can do a capacity reservation for 1 month. I'll pay half of the price for it, but when I'm gonna need it, I'll always be sure that I'm gonna have those servers ready for me to be used. Dedicated host means that you're gonna have a bare metal machine dedicated for you, where you can go and create the machines, and Oracle is taking care of the hypervisor. You also have the option here to create a normal machine here on demand the capacity and select the bare metal. But when you select the bare metal machines, that means that you need to install the hypervisor, and you are the one who is responsible on maintaining it. With dedicated host, yeah, Oracle is the one who's taking care of it. Okay, I will move forward in here. Fault domains. Yeah, fault domains are, let's say, additional rooms in a data center, if you want to think like this. And each fault domain has its own internet connection, its own cooling system, okay, and its own power supply. So if a fault domain fails, yeah, you can also put your other application in for a different fault domain. So you also be up and running all the time. Yeah, so this is for availability in mind. I usually let Oracle to choose this one. From security perspective, yeah, we have this. We have shielded instances. Yeah, so we can add secure boot, measure boot, and using the TPM that is in the servers. So you can enable it if you want to use it, or I can go and yeah, I use directly confidential computing. Yeah, it is another options. Yeah, that the CPU encrypts the data in use while they're processing the data. Yeah, so this depends on your compliance departments in security if you want to enable them or not. In here next is the images and shapes that I want to use. Okay, so in here I can select a Linux machine to start for this. I can use different type of Linuxes, Oracle Linux. I go with Oracle Linux 8 or Oracle Linux 9 and so on. Or I can go with Ubuntu, or I can go with Red Hat. Yeah, in Red Hat you need to create custom images and so on. It's a little bit more complicated at this point, but later, yeah, we'll have it as the other ones. And here it is something related to licensing options that you have. For Windows, you can go and you can select the Windows version that you have. But what means that, the first one you see here, Oracle Linux and Oracle Ubuntu, they're free images, because they're open source and you can use it for free. But for the other ones, CentOS, it's also free. Alma Linux, Rocky Linux, and so on, they're free. But for Windows, when you select Windows, you need to pay an additional fee to Microsoft, okay, through via Oracle, but the fee is going to Microsoft, is the licensing cost of Windows. Okay, so what I can do in here, first, let's create a Linux machine. Yeah, so let's see. I'm going to create this one, and I'm going to change the shape. And in the shape, let's say I have the option to select EF4 flex or E5 flex. Let's go with the latest IMD shape. I can also select Intel shapes. Yeah, so you have standard and optimize. I can go with the ARM base, like Ampere and so on, or specialty previous generation. Okay, so you have different options in here. Now, let's say I'll go back to the flex for AMD flex option. In here, you have the option to select the number of CPUs. Yeah, this is the flexibility that we're talking about. So if you want to create a big machine with 4 CPUs and only, let's say, 16 GB of RAMs, based on the workloads that you want to do, you have this flexibility. At this point, I don't need more than 2 and 16 GB of RAM, so I can also write it manually in there. I will select this shape, and I'll go next, and I want to select the network. In here, I can give the name to the VNIC. I select one of the existing VCNs that you see in there, and I can select a public or a private DB. Yeah, let me go to a private DB, and I will show you later how to connect directly from the internet to that machine. Now, after I created this private subnet, I need to assign a private IP v4 address. So in here, it's going to be automatically, and I need to add an SSH key. I can generate a key. I can save the private key for this. Yes, I will save this private key in here. And I'll use it later. And also I can use the same the public key to add it later in here. Okay, with all of this, I can go and create it directly, or I can even extend the boot volume from the beginning, but this is gonna be in a different video, to show all of this. So this is it, I created this first image. The image will be created, and after the images, at this point, you're gonna see the status. Status is provisioning. It should start to active. I'll pause a little bit, until it's active, and I'll show the next steps. Okay, you see, we have created the machine. The machine is started its running mode right now. So the next step that we need to do is to connect to this machine. How we can do it? Yeah, there are multiple ways to do this. One, we can use a console connection. This is the easiest one that we can do it in here. So I can use a Cloud Shell connection. Okay, so Cloud Shell means that you can go and you can connect to the machine directly from here. Yeah, directly from the cloud without the need of using SSH, PuTTY, or something like that. So as you can see, I have a missing policy. So that means I can see the required policies. I click on it. I'm redirected in here. So what I need to do, I need to log out from this user. I'll go back with my admin user and I will allow this group, yeah, to use Cloud Shells too. Yeah, because this is the simplest way to connect to a machine that you have in the cloud, even if it is in a private subnet. Okay, now login back in here. Now I'll go back to identity and security. I'll go to policies. Yeah, I have the demo, but I need to go to the root level. In here, I'll edit an existing one. I can click to change to advanced mode. So in here, if we go to policy syntax, we have Cloud Shell. Yeah, because I'm using the default one, yeah, I can go directly with group demo and so on. Yeah, so I'll put this. Allow group demo to use Cloud Shell in tenancy. Save changes. Okay, sign out again. So this is something that will happen multiple times because I'm giving the rights to that demo user based on the needs. Yeah, so this also should happen in your organization. If someone needs, a group needs some resources, you'll give them, yeah, based on the need of usage. Okay, so you've seen different ways of doing authentication. Okay, now back. So let's test this. You can go to Cloud Shell from this location. Yeah, near the Germany Cloud Center, you click Cloud Shell. Yeah, so because I allowed it at this point, yeah, Cloud Shell connection will be created. Now let me go back to the compute part, to the instance. Compute instances. Again, yeah, I'm in a different compartment, so I'm not allowed to do it. So I have demo VM1. I don't want to go anything else. Okay, so in here, if I go to Cloud Console, let's Cloud Console Shell. Yes, it says it is already started. So there are two differences. Yeah, this is like a normal computer that I'm using it, and I'm gonna connect, yeah, using an SSH key and all of that. With Cloud Shell, things are a little bit different because Cloud Shell are connecting, let's say, to the machines from, let's say, external. You are in front of, let's say, the physical computer. Yeah, so this is how these are the different ways. You can also use a cloud local connection, but it's a different, more advanced troubleshooting. So let me go to this. In here, what I can do, yeah, so this is a private subnet. Okay, so that means even from Cloud Shell, by default, I'm in a public subnet. So what I need to do in here, I need to define that private subnet that I want to use. So I'll click create a private network definition. Okay, define. Come on, what's happening? Okay, I'm using a public. Why is not allowing me? Oh, setup, ephemeral private. It is a browser error. 1 second, please. And I think I didn't have the rights to do this. Okay, so let me refresh again the page because the error says you need to refresh it. And let me load again Cloud Shell machine. You click on network, ephemeral network. Yeah, okay, it's working. Private network setup. We select demo VCN1. We select the private subnet VCN1. At this point, we have no security group, so let me use this basically as a normal connection. Okay, I will pause it until it's finished. Okay, so now I have the connection. As you can see, it's a network connection. It's a firewall. I'm connecting to the private subnet also. So next thing that I need to do in here, I need to upload to this machine the SSH key address I created initially. So in here, I will upload it. SSH minus SSH key, okay. And now the user that I'm using for that machine is OPC. Let me minimize this again. Let me copy the private IP of the machine. Let's restore it. I will put the machine in here and I press enter. I want to continue, yes. And now it tells me that it is permission for the key to open. Okay, so I need to set the permission lower. Okay, that chmod 400 SSH key, and let's try again to connect. As you can see, right now I'm connecting to this machine back. Okay, what I'm planning to do, I'm planning to create another machine and I'll show you how to install the software directly automatically on the second one. But in here, what I want to do, because I want to install a web server into it, yeah, it's an Apache server, I'm gonna do this manually. So first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add this, let's say I have a command that is doing Apache installation. So what I can do, yum, okay, minus y, install httpd, okay. So I need to put sudo in front of it, okay. And httpd is the Apache server, yeah, that's gonna be installed in there. Let's wait for it. I'll pause it a few seconds, yeah, it's fast. Now after this one was installed, let's enable it. So sudo, okay, let me go sudo su minus, so not enter all the time. Okay, so in here we put systemctl enable httpd dot service. Okay, so the service will start automatically. And now let's systemctl start httpd dot service. So we'll start the server. Next, what we want to do, let me add into the IP tables, okay, minus a input minus p TCP port, okay, minus m multiport, okay, multiport, and in here minus destination ports 80 and 443. Yeah, so these are web ports. Minus j accept. Okay, so it's IP tables, not IP table. Okay, so I also have this. Now let me add another command, firewall minus offline minus cmd minus add minus service, it's equal http. Okay, it's success, and also https. And now let's enable firewall D. Yeah, systemctl enable firewall D. Okay, systemctl restart firewall D. Okay, so now let's do an echo. Hello, this is my first server on demo VM1. Okay, so this is what I want to write. What I'm gonna do, if I want to write in a file, I'm gonna put this, yeah, greater than, and I want to put slash var slash www, three of them, okay, HTML, and in here we have an index.html file. Okay, this event was not fine. Okay, what? I can go. Okay, if it's not working this way, let me do it something like that. Cut. Okay. Not cut. Let's go to VI. Directly to the HTML file. Okay. This is my first server demo VM1. Okay, WQ right into the file. Okay, cannot write for file for writing. Okay, let's see what's happening. CD var cd. Okay, cd HTML list. Okay, so it's not in there. So let's create this file. Okay, we are root, so why it's not working? This is server 1 demo VM1. WQ. Okay, so it's odd. I don't have the rights to write on that folder. One second. Exit. Sudo. Okay. Odd. Let's restart the server 1. Okay. Let's wait for the server start back and try again. I'll pause it. Okay, so after the restart, it looks like I have the rights to do the call in there. So let me do something else. Call localhost. Okay, so I get a response from this. Now, what I can do, and I will do at this point, I'll create demo VM2. Okay, but this time I will use an additional option. Okay, that allows me to install everything from the beginning, yeah, not connecting to the machine after that and so on. So I'm gonna go demo VM2, create this one. As you know, I will use, let's say again, an E5 with 1 and 12, maybe a smaller shape this time. I will put in the private subnet again. Okay, now I will upload my existing public keys. Okay, so I'm gonna put that same public key in there, and in here I will click show advanced, and in here, if you look at the show advanced part, we have the option to use cloud init scripts. I don't have one created, but I will do it very fast. So I need to define the bin bash profile. Yeah, so that means that I'll need to put this. Okay, I will say that I will use bin bash on the machine /bash. Okay, and in here -x. Now the same command that I gave it earlier, yeah, on this, yeah, let me put it a little bit smaller. Let me copy directly from here. So this is the ports. I want to add the ports to that machine. Yeah, so in here I'll put this, yeah, accept IP tables. Yeah, okay, yeah, because I did a mistake first time. After that, let me install it. Yum -y install httpd. Okay, that's one of the things that we need. And let me go up and take the other commands. Okay, I did the installation of this of httpd. Let me put, I don't need to use sudo on this one because they will run it as elevated, yeah, from the beginning. So put this also. Okay, httpd service. Let's add firewall command this time. HTTPS, next. Okay, system enable firewall D. Restart firewall D. Okay, and now let's do the echo. Okay, last time didn't work, but now hopefully it will work from here. If not, after restart it should work. Okay, not this. Let me go the one at the end. Okay, hello. This is VM2. Okay, so after we put this in here, the machine will be provisioned, and at the end, let me copy it, have it saved for next time. Okay, at the end I should be able to see the server, but as you see, it is a private subnet. So what I'm gonna need to do next is to add the load balancer in front of it. So I'll pause it until it's provisioned and I'll continue with that one. So now I have the demo2 machine created. If I'll connect to the machine, yeah, I'll be able to see that is working. Now, if I'm going from demo1 machine, it's in the same subnet, so in theory it should be able to connect to it. Yeah, but if I go and do a curl on that IP, okay, nothing happens because I don't have the ports open in the subnet. Yeah, I don't have a network security group. I don't have the ports added to a security list. So because I'm in here, let me do something like this, create a network security group. I will name it web. I'll put it in the same compartment. Ingress, CIDR block, let's say allow from everywhere. And I will select the ports. Yeah, so TCP port 80 and 443. So with this, just put it in there. I'll create it. Okay, and next step that I need to do, I need to go back to the compute instance and attach the network security group to that VNIC. So going to, okay, I'm here. So let me also add to this one. Okay, so I added the network security group to VM1. I'm going to VM2 and I'll add the network security group to that one. Okay, so let me try it again. Okay, as you can see, it's working. Okay, now that we have both instances up and running, let me go also to VM1 and check. Yeah, I also add the network security group in this one. I also have a network security group added to this one. So now I want to expose them to the internet. So the right way to do that is to create a network, a load balancer. Yeah, we can go directly to load balancer because it's a web application. And on the load balancer, yeah, I will go to networking, load balancers, load balancer menu, and I'll click create a load balancer. This is going to be a level 7 load balancer. I'll name it demo LB. I'll make it public, yeah, because I want to expose those two pages to the internet. The IP address can be ephemeral or reserved. Yeah, I prefer to go with ephemeral because I will delete it at a certain point. And I will select dynamic shapes. Yeah, I will cost a flexible shape, let's say between 10 and 100 megabytes per second. Yeah, so let's make it something like this. And I don't want IPv6 for this use case. I will select my demo VCN1, and in here I will select the public subnet. Also, because it is a web, I will add this network security group from the beginning. Yeah, it's a web application, so I want to have it in there. I can go further. In here for security, I can enable web application firewall. This is a recommend, but I will discuss it in a different call. I can also add acceleration if I want, and I can do also add some tags in there, but let's ignore that one. After putting that, I will go to the next page. In here, I'll need to define what is the backend set. Yeah, I want to connect. I will select the weight the round robin, so go each server sequentially. In here, yeah, the backend policy health check should be HTTP on port 80, yeah, because this is what I have exposed in there. I will leave the path as a slash. At this point, I don't have any certificates uploaded, so I'll create another video with the certificates. I'll press next. Okay, so in here I can go and collect the configure the listeners. Yeah, I'll go with both listeners. So the first one, I will name it HTTP because I don't have the other certificate, so I'll leave it as HTTP on port 80. I'll press next. Logs, as I said, I will discuss later in a different call, and I'll press submit. After I'm gonna do this submit, yeah, this one is going to be created. But if you remember, yeah, we don't have anything where to connect. Yeah, we have a backend set that is created in here, but that backend set doesn't have any backends. So when this will be, let's say the load balancer will be created, what we need to do in here in the backend menu, we're gonna add another backend. Yeah, the two servers that we just created. We need to wait a few more seconds for this. So until then, I will pause it and I will. Okay, I don't need to pause it, so I can go directly. I click on Add Backends. I will select both machines. Yeah, so these are the private IPs that are in the backend. Even if it is only one server, I recommend to use this load balancer in front of a private IP as even to a reverse proxy, just to hide the IPs that are in there. In here, yeah, I can add additional data to security lists like port 80, automatically add security list rules, but I will not do it. I will leave only manual configure because I added the network security group directly to the load balancer, and I'll press add. Okay, so now we need to wait for those ones to be added. Okay, so the backend set policies, we need to add the port 80 on both of them. And at the end, we're waiting for this to become green from this brown, yeah, which means that the connection is incomplete at this point. After everything it is properly configured, everything is green in there. What I can do, I can copy this page. I can go to this and it should load the page. Yeah. So as you can see, this is VM1 when I'm loading the load balancer page. And now, yeah, it should show you again when I reload it, this is VM2. So these are the first steps, yeah, that let's say when you plan to create something, you're going to have it in here by default. It's basic networking, basic things in the cloud. So in today's call, yeah, what you learn: how to create a user, how to create a group, how to add that user to a group, how to create a policy for that group, use the new user that has only the rights in a certain compartment, create a virtual network, virtual cloud network, yeah, VCN, create some policies, create some subnets in there. And after that, how to create two different machines, one and install manual software for a web server into it. The second way, use the Cloud Shell, yeah, on the second server. Yeah, so to have automatically installation of the software before the machine starts. And how to connect to those machines that are in a private subnet using a load balancer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will continue with this very simple task, but usually you're gonna see them day by day, so they should also become simple for you too. Thank you for listening and watching.